Hello, everyone. My name is Joe Schmidt. I'm a student at Moraine Valley Community College. Here today to talk about a book for our Moraine Reads project. And this book is one of those books that I picked up and just started reading and found it really hard to put it down. I think I read it in its entirety, which is about 300 pages, probably in 4 sittings. And a few of the nights I stayed up way too late, had trouble waking up the next morning going to work, but it was worth it. It was worth it. It's packed full of detail, vivid imagery, just deep emotional writing, and the price that this guy had to pay to write this book is just unbelievable. The book is The Sun Does Shine by Anthony Ray Hinton. We read it in our African American literature course this semester. Anthony Ray is just a hero in my eyes. I've researched him after I read the book. I've watched him in a lot of interviews. He was on the Oprah show. Just what a man. He's a guy that has survived some major atrocities, injustices. A man whose heart is just bigger than anybody I've ever met. I mean, you can just tell from hearing this guy speak that he's just full of compassion and love and empathy, and it's just unbelievable how this guy is. He's truly a great person. In the book, he's wrongfully convicted in 1985 in his town, Birmingham, Alabama, of two capital murders. And long story short, he sat on death row for almost 30 years, from 1985 to 2015. And the story is basically about how he survived that. And how he survived it was it's all in this book. It's I don't want to give too much away, but he ends up just befriending and making a community and a home out of he accepted his circumstances on death row. And even though some of these inmates obviously he knew were guilty, he was innocent. He was able to look past this stuff. And I think he even says, there's a quote in the book where he says, nobody's as bad as their biggest mistake. And he saw them as people. They were in death row, even though they did horrible things. I mean, they cried and they felt remorse, and they were people, and they needed love just like anybody else. So Anthony was one of those people who started reaching out. He started a book club on death row. He started talking about books like To Kill a Mockingbird, and there's some different books that he talks about in his book. And it gave people the ability to survive just the worst circumstances. That's a big takeaway, is that through reading stories and talking about them with other people was one of the major tools he found in surviving his time on death row. And I mean, that's what we're talking about right here. We're trying to promote reading through the Moraine Reads project, and it's a major tool for us to just become better people, to look at different perspectives. And the book's a lot about racial injustice. It's a racist jury and judge, and at the time when he was convicted. And it's sad, but it's definitely a reality that we have to all not turn a blind eye to, especially today's day and age, where it's a major issue that's on the table for a lot of people. But we can all take an example from Anthony Ray. We can look at some of his interviews after he gotten out, and he's just a great example of a person who took some bad circumstances in his life and used them for great things. And I'm sure he's going to reach a lot of people through this book. And I hope some of you will go pick it up after listening to me talk about it a little bit. And I appreciate all your time. Thank you very much.